All right, we're live here Sunday morning. Fatboy FadeAway Sports, episode 213. Matt Luntzel, are you awake? You've been joining us live. Get up. No, are you here? Just joking. We're starting a little earlier this morning. We're getting into baseball season. As a lot of you know, Tyler's a coach there, so he's got some practices ahead on Sunday morning. So we might be doing our live show a little bit earlier here for a little bit. But we're glad that you, even if you can't catch us live, you'll catch us on the recording. Gentlemen, 180 subscribers now. Wow, that I think would it take 4 years to get from 176 to 180. No, but we appreciate anybody. I think Dark Horse, an ex-baseball player, was a good fantasy baseball player. A sub to the show, so appreciate that as well. Tyler, like he says, hit that like button. We got a lot of things going on this morning here. Casey Breyer is here, and Brian the main man Johnson, Casey, who you were begging for at the beginning of the show last week, he is back. He is back. How you doing, Casey? How are you doing? How's your knee? Are you how are you at like 40% right now doing this?
Probably like around there. I don't know. I still can't walk. It's been like 2 weeks on crutches now, so it kind of sucks. I just can't. I don't know. I can't make my legs straight, and I can't bend it. It feels like not fun. Not fun at all. Getting down the stairs is a mother, to say the least. It's just not enjoyable.
You have to get one of those guys to get the little chair that.
Oh,
the old timers.
The damn thing is, it's my. I just share a house with a couple people, and this damn cat's taking advantage and knows I can't bend over and get. So as soon as it's in the house, it's in the house. I'm like, oh.
You can't take its crush. Get out of here, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, if anybody knows me, I'm not a fan of cats. That is not part of.
But it knows. It smells it like that. It knows I can't do anything. And it just waits by the door till I open it. I have to open it, and then it just runs in. I'm like, you son of a.
It knows your weak. The cat knows your weaknesses, right? They're smart. That's why we're dog people. We're not. That's why we're dog people on this side of things. Brian, your back is good. Probably good. I know you didn't make it out to New York for various reasons, but I know you got a couple days off there, and now you're back on the show. Good to have you back on, man. Did you watch the Rock Cody Rhodes thing that Friday?
I haven't had a chance. I just saw whatever somebody posted on Instagram.
Okay. I'm curious when you watch it for next week, because I wasn't sure if you were going to have that on the show for later. Was somebody, our guy Jay over that other sports show, said he thinks that The Rock. I think that's who he said. I think that's who said it. I'm wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong, but I think he said The Rock is possibly trying to turn Cody Rhodes heel. And I was like, I can't even see the blonde bomber as a heel. I just can't. I don't know. So that was a weird one for me. Yeah, I think we'll have to check it out. So do you think he could actually be a heel, Brian Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, I mean, he was originally when back in the day in WWE, I think it was a faction called Nexus, and he was part of it. He was kind of a heel character. So
I always laugh too at how over the years WWE has been able to come up with these group names. I'm just like, how do we continue to do this? Like with the ones with all of them. Tyler McGurk, you're the one. You'll be out there spitting seeds. You'll be out there later today showing the kids how to slide into second. Along with, did you guys know who's your assistant? Come on, they'll all know who he is.
I got Rod Brooks helping me coach from KNBR, and then my brother Ryan. It's a good group. I'm enjoying it. The team is coming together slowly. We'll have our most full practice today, and we'll do a little, the old over the line scrimmages at the end of practice that my dad was famous for. I'm excited for it.
Is he able to make most of the practices too?
Yeah, he didn't make Friday because he was working on KNBR, but. Yeah, he's normally not doing that. He just works for Comcast mostly. Rod.
Is it kind of funny talking to him over the years after seeing him, or are you so used to it because you've known him now for a while?
It was a little weird at first, like just hearing his voice. Like we grew up with this guy's voice, like 12 to 3 every day, and then now I'm talking to him like this is kind of surreal. Now it's pretty normal though.
Yeah, and he allows you to coach his kid, obviously, and all that stuff, like within all that stuff. So that's funny. Who knew Sebastopol, Tyler McGurk, and Rod Brooks, along with good old Ryan McGurk on the coaching staff there. Is Ryan the catching coach still, like he was for me for a little bit?
He's working with the pitchers, catchers. He's doing some infield work.
You can't have Ron Brooks ever play first base during practice, though.
Nah,
Too big of a
gives him
target.
Too much comfort for those nose.
He's like 6'8", right, or something like that.
He's huge, 6'6", 6'7".
That's funny. All right, so we're all back. It's been a few weeks. I think at least been 3 weeks here since we've all four been back on the show. I want to get into Brian. You kind of showed me this the linebacker Campbell's thing, so I want to get into that after we talk a little hoops here. And I got some stuff involving my dad and I were talking about Raiders quarterback situation last night at good old Windsor Roundtable, Brian, for Grace's 19th, or for her Grace's
19th.
Well, I was thinking February 19th because of her birthday, for her 6th birthday party. So we did that last night.
Has Tara gotten that boot off her foot yet, or no?
Yeah, the boot is off. I remember she was cleaning the room on the other side, and I said, I looked at my dad and I said, I think that lady's been here maybe all 30 years or however long this place has been open as the manager. I was asking my dad. I said, I wonder if that's one of the oldest establishments in Windsor. I feel like that thing's literally my whole life. I've been going over that thing has been there. So, and Windsor's, I'm sure it's not, but you get my point.
Is the donut shop right there still? That one's been there forever.
I didn't see a donut shop over there. I saw a paint shop. There's Kelly's. I think it's Kelly's. Benjamin's. I think Benjamin's next to it now.
Do they still have Tekken in there for the arcade game?
They did Tekken in there, yeah. I had to go to Dr. Bo over there for the back there a little bit. So we'll get into that. I have a question for these guys with some movie stuff, and then Brian bringing a little new segment to the show here. We'll kind of get his thoughts on Happy Trails as a little bit as he calls it there. But yeah, before we get into the Jimmy Butler and the Dubs thing, the Warriors are retiring Iguodala's number tonight, and we just like we did with Joe Thornton when a number gets retired in the Bay Area, and we did with I think the Niners. I thought they have Willis maybe coming up this year. I always like to kind of focus on the guys that are kind of Bay Area icons. Iggy's kind of a different one because he got traded to the Warriors, like 6-7 years into his career. Had that great year with Denver, and then they pulled the trigger and able to get that steal of a trade for him. I don't know. I was just curious to get your guys' thoughts on him as the number 9 goes up in the rafters today with Oracle and joins the greats up there with Chris Bull and Tim Hardaway and some others there. So what do you make of Iggy getting his number retired there, T?
I think he was the start of this whole thing. Like, obviously, Steph getting drafted was like the catapult, but bringing Iggy in for what they gave away and like Andres Biedrin's contract and a couple other parts, it skyrocketed us into contention immediately. Like, it gave us some credibility. Like, David Lee helped, and then the Iguodala addition just gave us that wing defender, some leadership. He volunteered to go to the 6-man role, which put who'd that entered into the starting lineup that
Barnes.
Made Barnes start, and it just gave us some depth, and it's just a great player.
Or are you talking in the finals? Were you talking finals?
No. That's when Iguodala got entered in the starting lineup, I think, in the finals.
Yeah.
No, when he moved to the 6-man role after his second year, I believe, on the team. And I think he's just as vital to these championships as Clay and Draymond, and he'll never get the recognition he's going to get tonight, and he deserves it.
Put it into football terms for Brian. Who's he remind you of for him? Is there a guy in the Niners that, like, you know what I mean? Is it a Bowman or is Bowman?
Yeah, that's a good call. Like Bowman it's better than Goldson or Whit. Yeah, probably like a Bowman or even like a Dre Greenlaw, like this year's roster or last year's or the last couple of years' roster.
So not a Brandon Lloyd, not a Brandon.
No.
Definitely not.
Who was the wide receiver, Brian? You'll know this. But then we drafted out of Illinois, the first-round pick. He was a complete bust. Not him either.
Oh, I know. You got him a couple of years ago. Yeah, I forgot.
Like 6, 7, 8, 10 years
ago. Well, everything feels like a couple now.
I remember we traded him and Alex Smith to the Chiefs or something.
What do you make of number 9 going up, Case? He was always like Kerr always said, and this is so important. Like, if you coach at any level, like Tyler feels at a little league, I feel a coach on the floor. It is a very important. It's such a nice feeling that there's somebody that sees the game the way you do, and I always thought that was what Kerr had a luxury with that with Iguodala.
Yeah, I mean, he's super intelligent, high EQ player. he just like Tyler said, he just brought everything together.
Yeah.
I know it's start, but just having him just on the floor, man, he was just such an intelligent basketball player, and his defense, man, he's quick hands, man. That's all I'll say. He looked like he reached and he never got called. He was just amazing at it, and yeah, I mean, well deserved retired. A lot of people are like, what are you like? If you're not from the Bay Area, I guess you could see it a little differently. But if you were around for when he came and what he's meant for the franchise, it's just been instrumental. Like, there's no way that they have any of those chips. I know you could say that with a lot of those guys, but he was like the one that really set him up, especially like coming, like sacrificing and coming off the bench. That was just a huge thing for the Warriors because it allowed them to do so many different things, and that's where their death lineup was just it was unstoppable. It really was.
And he wasn't a great three-point shooter, but he was a timely outside shooter. You know what I mean? I felt like he was. I wouldn't say he was somebody, if we're thinking of live games all the time, we're like, yeah, well, we want him, but he was smart enough not to take a lot of the shots. Like, he was smart enough not to do it. But then, even though he did have struggles, he did hit timely shots. I always felt like I found this, so it's not going to wait till we're down. They found like literally 1 hour of Iggy highlights. I'm not saying that's what the show is, but you're not going to stop for a while here. But I always felt he was a timely shooter. But you brought up the best point about him being such a smart defender. Like, I think to this day, he's still the best, right up there as one of the top 5 wing defenders I've ever seen. Like, I was able to watch consistently on a consistent basis. I didn't see Jordan enough. I've seen all the highlights and stuff, but like just the simple things he would do with like the right hand out and the certain, like he didn't use his other, like just little things. He was super smart. So I don't know. It was definitely, I agree with you. He was the guy that kind of brought everything together there.
Like, back to, it's an idiotic statement, but I believe it was Max Kellerman would be like, oh, I'd rather have Iguodala take the last shot than Steph Curry. Like, that's how clutch he was. He wasn't a great shooter, like you mentioned, but he did hit clutch shots. Like, it's an idiotic statement looking back up. Like, but he did. But it's a compliment to Iguodala.
Yeah.
Someone thought that highly of him.
Man, those OKC free throws, those things were ice.
That one was.
Yeah.
That was in that game that Curry hit that shot, right?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
He was not a good free throw. That was definitely one of his weaknesses, was his free throw shooting. I remember, Tyler, you remember him at Arizona, right? A little bit?
No, yeah. He was great. He did everything. You knew he was going to be a lottery pick. He was a lottery pick. He was super talented. He's always been one of those freaks athletically. You watch his Philadelphia days, you're like, oh, man, this guy's
Yeah, he was in the dunk contest at one point, too. Did you think he would be getting his jersey retired, though, when you were watching him in Arizona?
And definitely not with the Warriors. That's for sure.
Yeah, I remember the Philadelphia days with the AI, right? Yeah. Both AI, him and Allen Iverson. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely, and Iguodala was also smart enough to know he wanted to go play with the Warriors after losing to them in that series. Like, there's something to say also about when you're a player like Iguodala going to the right fit. And I mean, he picked the 2 best players to go play with, given his skill set. I think as well. So that was to me one of always just, again, he just made intelligent decisions. I felt like with his career and stuff. And man, he was definitely one of those players I trusted when he had the ball. So even he was the guy that made that pass to Clay Case in that game you're talking about. Yeah. So just stuff like that. So like we're seeing all these highlights, he did always have a knack for hitting some crazy shots. It's great. He would like just throw up like something that would go in every once in a while. So, anyways, he gets the number retired tonight in the building.
Hopefully they do it better than the Illinois.
Did you see that, guys? Did you see that, Brian? Brian, did you see that when they tried to raise this guy's number to the building?
Shannon's number.
They put his number backwards. His number was
upside down.
Or upside down. So, I mean, you talk about blowing. I mean, come on. What happened? They're like, oh, I knew we forgot to practice something. We forgot to practice that.
That's so bad.
That's so bad. But anyways, Iggy gets the number retired, the first of the core 4. There will be a few more to go up over the years here at the new Chase Center. Tyler, any final thoughts on it?
Does he get a statue?
Oh God! How about we get a statue? We get a plaque. We get a something. We get a food item named after you. We get bobbleheads. No, he'll probably. I would think they would do a statue, maybe with him in that original one with all the guys putting their hand up, maybe at some point. But
I think they're gonna wait on statues till Steph gets the first one, and then they'll kind of.
I mean, the Giants waited like 60 years to give Willie Mays one. I mean, whatever it was, like 40 years when Oracle came around. So you can wait. You don't have to necessarily rush into these things. You have to rush into these things, but
Does the
just
seal
don't,
have its
just
own-
don't make it. Just don't make it like Dwayne Wade. Just don't make it like Dwayne Wade.
does the seal have a statue?
And he does. Lucille does have a statue out
Right.
there. I think it might be a real seal out there.
He doesn't have a
I feel like they have a real seal out there. Tyler's like, they better not have one. Tyler looked a little disappointed if they had it. Also, the other thing I had the Warriors was Jimmy Butler giving them a little push here early. Even though they haven't played that great in competition, and then Draymond Green always. I heard a great line. He's doing on 2 timelines, Brian. One playing career. The other one, how does he get on? When does he get on TNT or whatever radio station or TV station he joins? Like he said, he's going to be the coach next week of the Warriors at some point. He said the Warriors have a great chance now to win a championship because of this trade. I don't know. I don't know about this. Even with Jimmy, he's a great clutch player. We'll see what happens. Tyler, you feel?
I mean, right now,
Brian.
right now you're sitting at the 9th seed, so but before that you were hurting like Tyler wanted a lottery pick, so
He wanted the
definitely
season
turned
over.
around.
You're right. He wanted the season over.
When you lose to the Utah Jazz, you lose a lot of faith.
Tyler, is the confidence back like the first 2 weeks of the season?
Not quite that high, but I think the team's better than the first 2 weeks. Man, watching Jimmy Butler every game it's a different experience. I didn't respect what he does on the basketball court. He's kind of like Iguodala in a lot of ways, in that he's not going to make many outside shots, but he can hit like long twos. And his defense and his ability to get to the free throw line is what the Warriors do. Like, he's not afraid to go to the free throw line. And it slows the game down for him. It gets him a little more rest. And he's just so physical. And he's brought out the best in Podziemski. They have great chemistry. He's been playing better. Steph is back to being the old Steph. Like, he looked like he ran out of gas before Jimmy was there. It was like, oh, this Steph, the old Steph's gone and forever. And he's back. And then Draymond, if we're going back to Draymond's a
But you don't have to go.
Draymond's a dumbass. But just watching Jimmy, I have a newfound respect for him. I kind of always thought he was a little overrated, even though he got the Heat to the finals. I just felt like I was smoking mirrors and like Gabe Vincent hitting crazy threes and Caleb Martin getting hot. Like, just things that didn't make sense. But Jimmy's, for being 37, he plays like a 26.
35. He's 35.
35.
Yeah.
He plays much younger than that. I'm very impressed by Jimmy.
Like I said, there's a honeymoon stage with him, but I did say if the Warriors do make this trade, if they make it to the playoffs, they're dangerous. Like, he's a great playoff player. I mean, and he's going to have more space with Curry on the floor, you would think, to do a little bit more than he did in Miami. So as much as Tyler Hero helps, I don't think he's definitely Steph Curry. So it's going to be a lot different there for Butler on the Warriors. My always concern was, maybe I didn't think short term enough, but it's the next year. I just kind of that was kind of my concern with it. But to Dunleavy's credit, that I was hard on. He got a better player in here for Wiggins, and that's all you can do. And hopefully, maybe Kuminga comes back here soon, and we got some more athleticism. So I don't know, Case. What do you kind of make of this little run? And again, not the greatest opponents, right? Not the greatest, be honest, but wins a win. They look a little better.
I mean, I won't say they played bad competition. They beat the Rockets. They beat the Bucks.
Well, they hung on against the Rockets. That was the one scary thing with them. But yes, they did beat them.
So,
And then they were killing them, and then the Rockets made that late push. But yeah, no, they beat him. They beat Chicago, Milwaukee, and then they beat Sacramento.
I mean, I don't think those are terrible teams. I mean, each one of them, I think, has a winning record except for one of them. So, I like Jimmy Butler. I don't know if Tyler's trying to say something, but
You're muted, T.
but no, I mean, I like Jimmy. I like what he's doing for us. Like I said, it's new, it's fresh, it's going to be entertaining, which it has been so far. Steph, you can tell he looks like a little kid, like in an ice cream store, man, just hella happy. He's like, I got freaking choices. Finally got choices again.
We got Wickens out of here. No.
You got Wiggins out. It was Lindy Waters was killing us. There's a lot of guys that
Lindy Waters. Yeah, he'll go down at
Lindy
Warriors.
catches a stray. It was just hard. It's different now with Jimmy. It's the spaces, the floor on the space is just like the space on the floor is just incredible to watch. Like everyone, like Tyler said, he puts people in their right positions. Like I still can't stand Pajensky, but he's making them better. Like Moody's starting to play. Like they're all we're not playing a 12-man rotation. Like it's shrunk down, so it's like now it's more basketball. You can actually get reps and minutes. And
He actually has better.
That's helping out a lot.
He's got good players now, so he doesn't have to like play 12. What's what are you said they're at the 9 seed, or Brian said that they're 29 and 27. They play the Mavericks tonight, right? I think they play the Mavericks tonight. So they're 1 game in the loss column behind Dallas. They're 3 behind the Clippers for that 6 seed, which would get you automatically into the playoffs. So we'll see what they do. See if they can make a little run here. They do look better. I bet teams probably fear them a little bit more. Are they championship worthy though, McGirt?
No, not yet. I mean,
you got to see it.
Moody's got to keep playing and getting better, and then Podziemski has to keep doing what he's been doing the last week. If they want to be championship contender, I still don't think that Moody's going to improve exponentially in the next 2 months, and I don't think Podziemski will be as consistent as he's been the last 2 weeks. So no, in the playoffs, are they championship contender? I don't see it, but I think they could win a round or two. But I don't. Denver, they can't do anything with Jokic still. Like,
LA beat them by a lot last night.
Yeah,
it's a regular season
points.
Game.
Yeah, look at Brian's Lakers back on. They beat him out there. I love
the big two combined for 52 points last night.
And if you count Vanderbilt, 64. Denver. I thought Denver's always a weird team to me with the Warriors. They're like the Warriors. I feel like that would be a team they would not want to match up against is Denver. Like they just that size. If that's still going to be my issue, Jokic would be the 101 on that group. The Lakers. I'm curious. I don't even know if they probably play the Lakers one more time, but it feels like they've played them a ton already this year. But they've lost every game to them. It'd be curious to me. Like how do they match up? Because they've matched up so bad against them in the past. Does Luka give them a little advantage because he's not as good defensively? I don't know. I'm just curious how the Warriors will be fair with the Lakers. Because every time they've been playing the last 2 years, I'm like they're gonna lose. So.
Yeah, but I'd rather.
I think the Lakers are the 4th seed right now, from what I saw this morning.
Those damn Lakers, Brian. Now that you've jumped back on, they're starting to. LeBron's heard you. He's starting to get back into it a little bit. He's like, I gotta impress Johnson there. Case, your final thoughts on the Dubs championship hopes? Are they winning it? Come on, do they have a chance here? The 9 seed Warriors.
Casey's over optimistic, so he's got to be the guy that says it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Brian, you jumping in the boat with me? Come on. Championship.
No.
I think with Jimmy Butler, you guys could get to the Western Conference Finals.
No doubt.
That's the ceiling, in my opinion.
Because, Case, if we played Memphis in the first round or something like that, right? That would, or Houston, that would be nice. Like if we could get to there, but Houston looks like they're kind of falling down. I mean, they would struggle against OKC for sure.
I wouldn't mind playing the Lakers though, because the only problem we had with the Lakers was Anthony Davis. I'd rather face him with Luka.
That LeBron guy was kind of tough too. In Austin Reeves.
I mean, obviously.
Remember Bryant Reeves said Austin, he's out there.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a question. I didn't know. I had never lived with his father.
I know.
I was so confused when you said his father in our background text message.
That was great.
It said Reeves and then his father. And I was like, question mark, what the hell are you talking about?
Big country.
David Robinson feared big country.
It's like Matt Bryant in the backyard. Big country and that.
That's hilarious.
He said his defense was just he couldn't do anything on big country.
Couldn't move him. He had the muscles of a Greek god, but he could not move Bryant country in that. That's good. So Casey, if you had to put what's your confidence level of the Warriors championship? Getting to the finals. If you had to put is it 1 the worst, or is it 10?
I'd say like 7.
Whoa, we're up to a 7 after that Utah game. We were all down to a 2. That is
I was down to
They
zero.
they were missing all their players after.
this is
the
a
trade.
Brian Johnson Niners type jump. This is a they're going fully
We're
loaded.
definitely not the Raiders, Darren. Darren's right. Are you at 2 with them or?
Well, I'm going to get into my Raiders here in just a second. I want to save those thoughts for our NFL segment. But yes, with the Warriors specifically, I'm at a 4 now. I'm going a little bit more, so I'm like, all right, they got a chance now. They got 2 scorers. Like I said, the center position is still going to be an issue for me against really good teams. So against weaker teams, they're not smart enough to always get to their spots. And I think the Thunder and Tyler would give them a massive issue. Don't you think that would be like
I mean, Chet and Hardenstein would be a problem. But if you look in the West,
SGA would crush them too, I think.
Well, I mean, he crushes everybody. He's
Yeah.
going to get his 30-something. But there's no big guys in the West anymore of any consequence except Jokic, really. Like Houston, you don't feel anyone. I got Zubac, LA Clipper, but if
He would hurt us.
You live with it. Like, I mean, it sucks. But there's Dallas, if AD comes back, is probably the scariest team outside of OKC and Denver.
Yeah.
Like to play the Warriors matching up. I'd much rather play the Lakers with Luka than Anthony Davis. Luka, like we've beaten him in the playoff series before. Like
It's the LeBron post ups always for me when he's in the game. We'll see if Butler can guard him enough. I guess that would be. And
the referees will be a factor in that series for sure too.
God, I would hate to be on that call if I was a referee. Any Lakers game, I'd be like, oh my gosh. I'd be like, I'm getting shoot out more than it. I'm getting more whined at than anybody else for a while.
You just gotta tee him up for a quick swap, and then maybe they won't do it so much.
Brian, do you have a fact of the week or no?
Yeah, yes, I do. It looks like Embiid's era in the Sixers looks like it might be on not going good right now. He got benched, and then he's declining to comment after that game. So
Yeah, I saw that. I read that article this morning. He got benched for it. I heard the other day he said something like, I'm just not the same player I was last year at this time. Not something you want to hear from your superstar, that's for sure. He's definitely going down that track of, even though he's a great big, he's not going to be able to sustain it. He's definitely going down that track. It feels like it, right? Like he kind of had that history with the start to his career, and we got a few good years at him. But I'm curious to see if this is just how his career is going to be. 2 on, 1 off. You know what I mean, Case? So I think that's a good fact of the week there. I'm not sure. He's kind of a tough one for me. Be hard to trade for him.
I mean, the Sixers are screwed. I mean, they're stuck where they're at. I mean, you got like Paul George and Joel Embiid. I mean, the best guy they got is Maxey. It's going to be hard. I mean, Joel Embiid, man. I mean,
Do you think they can move on from him? Think a team would take him?
I mean,
like somebody took
if I
Bynum.
were the Warriors, I would try and pack someone like I would do Kuminga, Pajensky, and Moody in like a first-round pick and just send that, and Joel play your 50 games, Jimmy play your 50 games, and Draymond just don't get ejected and toss for the rest of the year and roll with that for. But I mean, I like Embiid. It's just, can he stay healthy? That's the one thing. And
Yeah.
it's hard for whatever reason. Ever since the Olympics, even when he was playing in the Olympics,
He said he shouldn't play him. That's where that kind of starts too. Is like, he's the type of guy that can't play too much basketball. It seems like.
No, he can't. I mean, he's just breaking down. I mean, every year. I mean, God, I think it was last year in the playoffs when he threw the ball off the backboard and slammed it home, and it was unreal. And then it looked like his leg came off. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
he was fine, but it was like, it was like there's no way that guy should be falling like that. Like, it's just,
I don't know.
The body doesn't look like it's going the same direction as it should be going.
It's crazy how like those big guys, especially with like Embiid, they have that like he's just not able to stay. But that's a good fact of the week, Brian. T, any final thoughts on Embiid? But would you trade for him? That's kind of my big thing. If you were a team, you would take a probably small chance on him, but that contract comes along with it.
I'm not trading for Embiid at this point. His contract is monstrous. I don't want to be on the hook for that for 5 years. Like he can't even stay healthy now. He couldn't even stay healthy the last 3 years when he got the big contract. He was obviously great when he played, but he just isn't on the court enough to pay him that much money for that.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, like you said, and it's frustrating if you're a player when you have a great big guy and you can't play. It's frustrating because you're just getting like out crushed on rebounds, and you're like, I need that. We need that 7-footer in there. All
That was
right.
good about Brian when he played out there with us.
I know we needed that lefty jump hook
needed
that
that
gave us
big
that
man.
advantage out there.
He
The
played better when he
jumper.
got angry.
I like how Brian is like 6'3",
I-
and he's considered a tall guy for us. Like if we're talking about a 7-footer, it's just like there's like levels to like these height like that. Yeah, Brian.
I probably limited the post moves. I probably had the mid-range jumper like Tim Duncan, but I didn't have the post moves like Embiid probably has.
I like how you went to,
you played
I
like
like how
a
you went to Timmy.
European big man. We wanted you to be more aggressive, but you would not.
the European big man. The European. That is funny.
I was
It's
more of a
bonus.
power
To go
forward.
inside.
Yeah, you had more of the little. You had more of the elbow. You were in the old days. You were the 4 that stood right outside the elbow jumpers, the Charles Oakleys. That's where you were at, right there around the elbow jumper. You just stay there. Brian, what did you make of? Was that a real comment that Mr.
Yeah.
Campbell made, the linebacker? But that was actually a real comment he made. Unbelievable. Can you
Yeah,
give me
I mean,
give me the cliff notes of what he said?
Basically, he was trying to say how Shanahan Lynch were begging him to go back in the game, and he's rich and he doesn't give an F about it. And I was just reading, and I was like, I couldn't believe he was actually saying that because I made a comment on Instagram. You were trash the whole year. It was a bad signing.
I think that you got the second part. I think the first part was he was begging them to beg him to come to San Francisco.
Yeah.
After that, then he had the issue with them there. I thought that was kind of an interesting comment with Mr. Campbell. Not the smartest, given your situation with it. What's the Niners draft rumor you're hearing right now, Brian? You hearing anything? Debo trade rumors. Are we hearing anything from Debo's camp?
I've heard multiple teams are interested in him, and the big news is that Shanahan might possibly be going to the NFL Combine. So,
whoa,
Huge
wow!
news.
The Niners, Jen New York's worried to pay that price for another flight. Got to build that relationship. Oh, Brian, I love it. You're trying.
I feel like last season kind of left a bad taste in his mouth, though. He really wants to turn this thing around. So
his wife's like, "Get out of the house. I don't want you around. You're negative. Get out of here. You're making it worse on me. Go to Indianapolis as punishment. Go to Indiana."
But I feel like the whole offseason has gone really good for the Niners. They got Sola. They got good special teams.
You still need a lot of offensive linemen, though, big guy. You still need a lot of those. Come on. I love your team, but you guys you do address the offensive line.
But we have the most draft picks out of any team in the NFL. So,
well, maybe that's why Shanny's going. Goatee, right? Maybe that's why.
I think he wants to watch those men in their underwear run up and down the field. That's what it's all
I want to see those 40-yard dashes.
The only thing good about this time of year is when people show like the ones over the years that have been like blooper ones. And those are like like the one I saw. The guy's running the wide receiver drill where they run across the field and then they throw a ball and throw another ball. Like just to start, he starts and just gets – he doesn't even see it coming, gets just pegged right in the head. But to his credit, he turns the other way and catches the next one. But I mean, he just gets drilled right in the head. That just started out. But so yeah. Then my dad and I were talking about the Raiders yesterday, and he's like, "Well, Raiders getting Sam Darnold." He was all excited about it, and then we kind of started to talk, and I was like, again, it's like Sam Darnold at 13-3. I guess the hope would be that he turns into a Rich Gannon, right? That's the hope. Like he just this veteran guy that figures it out at the end and gets his pieces around him. The rate it just doesn't. That it seems unlikely. But again, I don't know how much Darnold's going to take to how much money he wants, but Carroll's going to have to do something. Like I said, when people are like, "Oh, they're going to get 3 years out of him," it's like the Raiders don't have a history. If he goes 4 wins, 5 wins, he's going to be out. Like that's just how it's probably going to work. So he's still got to address that. But Case, Darnold for you, are you excited about a Samuel Darnold to the Raiders? That get you 13 wins last year. Yeah, this is his last 2 games.
Excited for Sam Darnold? No.
I was looking at the top 10 quarterbacks in the free agency. I saw Trey Lance's name. I was like, man, it is not a good quarterback market for free agency.
Man, you guys you take them back.
Take them back. Yeah, do him a favor. Do him a
Yeah.
favor. Take them back.
No,
As soon as Jed York saw that list, he's like, "I'm giving Purdy an extension."
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I
Do it,
just,
Chase.
I mean, does it excite me? Obviously not. But I'd rather have like I don't know, a first-year quarterback. If you get a Cam Ward or a Shador, I don't know. That's the route I'd like to go. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers for at least like a year and draft a quarterback, something like that. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. It's just I don't trust him. I think he's an average quarterback. I don't think he's gonna like take the top off and become this absolute superstar. And I think if you pay that money, you're gonna get stuck with mediocrity at best. It's not the time to do it. The timeline for the Raiders. Pete Carroll, I get it. He's a great coach. I think he's going to turn it around for us. I just don't think Sam Darnold's the guy to do it.
Sam Darnold, Dad. I don't know.
I think the worst case scenario that could be another Kerry Collins for the Raiders. I think that would not be a good fit. I think the Raiders need to go trade up in the draft and go draft. Yeah,
I think it would be like a 8 and 9 year, 9 and 8 year. I mean, it wouldn't be like the Niners would be like 7 and 10. So
back to the car era. Back to the car era. We're back to 9 wins, right in the middle of the pack. Right back to it. That's.
But
I mean, I don't know.
Don't you think the same, Darren? Like it's going to be.
Yeah.
I
I totally agree.
Special.
Like I said, like Rich Gannon, that's a 1 in a million scenario.
That's an MVP there.
That's what I mean, but he wasn't an MVP until he got to the Raiders. That's like a 1 in a million scenario.
Yeah.
And
if Darnold even turns into that, I'll be excited.
But. Yeah, but I just don't see that happening. We saw it week 18 now it is against the Lions. That was pathetic. And then the playoff game was pretty pathetic too. To me, that was enough. That was like, all right, that's all I need to see. Yeah, so that's my.
I'd rather have Purdy than Darnold.
Absolutely. I'd rather have Purdy than Darnold too. That's kind of a cheap shot, but I like it at
the
same time.
That's a very hot basket. I didn't take the guy who's been in the Super Bowl and championship twice. Sam Darnold, who sees ghosts. He said, I'm seeing ghosts out there. Of course.
He's matured since then. He's matured.
I mean, you look at what Purdy did in the playoffs. You look at what some of these players did in the playoffs this year. You're like, you have a better upside with Purdy than maybe spending a lot of money on Darnold or these other quarterbacks.
I wouldn't do that either. Just keep developing O'Connell.
That's what.
I don't know about that.
It's year 3. He'll figure it out. It's year 3. He's maturing. He'll figure that out. I didn't want to
trade up in the draft, Raiders. Trade up.
Get it
just
done.
Don't believe in Ritter. Don't even.
Oh gosh, Ritter time. No, nobody's believing in Ritter time. Falcons fans would kill us for that one. I didn't want to shortchange Darnold. 14-3. So man, that means that would even scare me more. Like he's gonna get a huge drop off for next year. I'm like, that's too many wins. He's not allowed to get that many. I'd rather have Geno Smith honestly than Darnold for a year. And that would be if I was to pick a guy. I know it's not. I'd rather just take. And Geno has his issues too. That guy you guys mentioned earlier, the old 2012 AJ Jenkins out of Illinois was your pick. Was the wide receiver pick there? So 2012. Yep, Tyler, you're right. More than a couple years ago, a decade ago.
That was a bulky pick, right? That's your GM.
Yeah, Bulky was there forever.
Bulky.
Yeah,
You guys had him for a long time there. So that's the Raiders news.
Finally got fired. Bulky,
Who?
Bulky.
He definitely got out of there. He was from the Jaguars. Yeah,
he's gone now too from the Jags though.
Yep, he got tossed over there. I saw spring training was back a little bit this week. Nothing to write home about with it, but I always get a kick out of these videos online where it's like fans like, I love my team. Look at this guy, and like they're like doing something like they're kissing babies or they're like handshaking somebody. I'm like, I'm like him 2 months if he's grounding out into double plays. You're not gonna like this team at all. I just always get a kick out of like some of like all the positive energy that comes from spring training. It's like I get it. It's kind of like the NFL preseason in the same way where a lot of teams are all excited about it for a while because it hasn't begun. But It just kind of cracks me up. Like it's not even March yet, and we're this. What a guy. What a team we have. Brian Eldridge, or just
Yeah,
with
did you
any
see
team.
that Bryce Eldridge at that 450 feet to right center? He's a superstar. Yeah, it's spring training. Nobody cares. He's hitting off guys who might never see Major League Baseball. It's like NFL preseason. Preseason in sports and the All-Star break in sports are completely irrelevant now. Like those are like breaks. Don't even worry about what's going on unless you're adding players to your roster.
At least the guys on the Yankees can wear some.
Yeah,
They can actually have beards now.
They had a 20-minute press conference on it. I was like, "What are we doing?"
It's pathetic. I was like,
George is rolling over his grave.
I was like, "That's what made Giambi popular. Is he had to have a mustache. That's what he had. He couldn't do anything more. He had to have."
And he shaved his legs.
He shaved his legs. That's too much information. We need to know about that one, but that's hilarious. Like you could have it very groomed. Like when they get when are they sponsored by Manscaped now or something? Like I don't understand. Like what? I understand why we had to. They're like we're losing out on free agents because they lost out on Soto because he can't have facial hair. That'd be hilarious. We offered $20 million more, but he said I couldn't have a well-groomed beard, so he's out of there. No. New York, if you show them the money. So, anyways, they did that. I thought that was insane that they did that part as well. USA Canada thing, real quick. I thought Ryan Rosillo kind of had an interesting point on it when I heard his podcast this week about how everybody was like us last week was loving the hockey game, right, and just totally crapping on the NBA basically because of the All-Star kind of falling on that. And he made a good point, like. In the worst year, like literally the worst week of the NBA, like in most cases, because there's no games and you have the All-Star game and that's terrible. You had this great event. He was kind of saying that USA Canada was getting kind of blown out of the water a little bit more because of the NBA, and the NBA is terrible. Like that take more. So like hockey's coming for the NBA, but he's like, it's not really the case because it came on the worst week of the year. He's like kind of just like he kind of compared it to the Olympics last year where Steph, they had those great kind of couple games, and then is baseball way worse now because it's in the middle of August or, so he was kind of trying to make that comparison. Do you think that USA Canada thing is actually real, Tyler, or is it kind of fake news in terms of hockey maybe making a push against the NBA in some regard?
I think anytime you get USA across your chest as opposed to just regular, I think basketball is at the same point where people don't care about the regular seasons even. Like a lot of people, they just care about the drama and the off season and moves being made, and they just want to speculate on who's the better player. But when you get USA across the chest, I think it brings this mob mentality where you're rooting for your guys more than they do in the regular season game that doesn't mean as much. I don't think hockey is going to benefit from this the NHL level. I think it's a great thing to do. I bet the NHL regrets it. I don't think they expected them to play this hard. They were going balls to the wall. If I'm a owner, I'm like, this is not what I signed up for these guys playing a more competitive game than they'd be playing in the regular season. So I don't know if they bring it back or how that works, but it was a great event, and I think the ratings will show that it probably didn't even do better than the NBA. So which was pathetic. And it
always comes down to the players, right? Though that's the problem with the NBA All-Star game is the players are going hard. USA Canada, these guys, we're getting 3 fights in 9 seconds. That is that. I mean, if an All-Star game, that's what the All-Star game. It just needs somebody to be a bully for one game and to raise the stakes. Honestly, hard foul it, or right? That would change the game or something like that. So,
but would that make the players go even more of a recruit?
I don't know, but it would get what you said, drama. It would get drama into the game, and that would be a big thing that they lack right now. I think
it'd benefit for that one game, and then it'd go back to
for sure.
Okay, we're not going to include.
And that's my thought: is this something that hockey can build on, or is Rosillo right? And it's just the NBA was playing on the worst week of their year, or the worst week of their season, basically. I don't know.
I don't get that point, though. They're playing on their worst week of their...
The NBA, if you were to pick a week to do something great in hockey, you would pick the All-Star week because there's no games and there's no the NBA All-Star game stinks. So he was saying that this is the best week to do it because of those factors. And you got a great product in USA Canada, but I don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Case?
I mean, I thought it was great. It's going to be maybe not a one-off because it's going to be hard to do that when Olympic time comes around. they're gonna have to do a different format probably here and there. But I like how it went. I mean, shoot, it drew. I think they said like 14 million people, which is the most watched hockey game ever, I believe. So I mean, that's pretty impressive. I think timing does have to do with a little bit of that. Basketball,
Politics too, probably a little.
and football's not around, so that's a help. Yeah, the whole thing, the tariffs and Canada and USA and the 51st state and all those things kind of going wild. I thought it was really cool, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think for me,
Is it better than the NBA though? Now is it
for me, honestly, I was like, man, I might actually have to watch some of these NHL games. Like that's how I felt because I've watched some basketball games and it's just hard to get up for Hornets bowls or Bucks nets. Like it's not. It's hard. Like
Are you gonna get up for Ducks Blackhawks? Like
I was thinking Florida Panthers Devils.
At least someone gets smacked. Like I mean, I don't know.
Casey gets the NHL.
I'm out here in Anaheim. Let's get some Ducks fever going on.
He's up on Case, I hear you. I think there's going to be the general fan that kind of tunes it a little bit more. But like Tyler said, I think the drama for your casual fans is usually what gets the timeline going.
I'm not going to disbar the NBA. That's not like no. I'm not going to not watch, but it's definitely going to make me want to watch hockey more.
And then they got the Winter Olympics next year, so there's a little build up to that probably too now. Especially with this game. So that would be probably their biggest benefit is come next year in the Olympics. They'll probably get good ratings on those games, I would think, especially if USA played Canada again.
Do you guys boo when they played the Canada? Did you boo?
I don't want maple syrup anymore.
I saw a lot of those red mega hats out there.
They got pissing people off in Boston.
Brian at home, just booing the TV, wearing the mag. Eating plain pancakes, no syrup.
No syrup. We're not needing anything from Canada, right? No Canada Dry anymore. No ginger ale.
No Hawaiian pizza. It has Canadian.
I know. Darren said he's gonna watch the game with the ginger ale. You go, that better not be Canada Dry.
Gotta go with the Sweppers.
I got some random picks this week. Not all movies. Couple interesting song or band choices as well. Just to kind of throw at you guys a couple of random ones. I'll start with a movie here. Hopefully you guys will both see them. One of them 80s movie, one in the 90s here. Beverly Hill Cops, the first one, or Bad Boys, the first one with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. So which one would you go with? You guys seen both movies, hopefully, but Casey, what one would you choose?
I'll probably go Bad Boys.
All right. I go Beverly Hill Cop. I go that one with they're both. I put them there for a reason. They're both pretty close there. Yeah. Brian, who would you take?
Definitely Beverly Hills Cop. I love all those movies.
I thought for you a tougher choice would be that or Lethal Weapon 1, but we already did Lethal Weapon 1, so I didn't want to put it back on there. I thought that'd be tougher because I know you have a love affair with that one. Tyler, what one do you got?
I got Beverly Hills Cop. Prime Eddie Murphy's greater than Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
Now, Bad Boys 4, did you like? No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't watched past 2.
They did 3 Beverly Hill Cops, Brian, or 2?
They did. I think the most recent one is the 4th one.
The Netflix one.
They did 4.
They have 4 now too. All right, so they are competing for each other in terms of these things. I like.
There's that one Beverly Hills Cop. Remember, it was at the amusement park.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. All right, so we got that one. I got Silver Lining Playbook. Casey got that title right during Super Bowl week. I was impressed. I forgot about the playbook part. Or the other one with Bradley Cooper. I like it. It's called American Hustle. Have you guys? That was a good movie as well. Casey, which one would you go with there?
What was the first one, dude?
Silver Lining Playbook. Where remember he's the Eagles fan, with Robert De Niro's in that.
Man, Silver Linings Playbook is actually a really good movie. Yeah, I'll probably rock with that one. All
right, go that. Brian, you seen either?
Yeah, I'm gonna go American Hustle.
It's a good movie. That's a good movie for sure. That's it. That's what. Tyler, you seen either one?
Yeah, 2 Jennifer Lawrence movies also. You forgot to like her out of these movies. I go American Hustle, Kristen Bale, Bradley Cooper. It's a good movie. It's like I think it won Best Picture. It was at least nominated. So
Yeah, no, it's a great movie.
So was Silver Linings Playbook. They're both really good. I just preferred American Hustle.
I go Silver Lining Playbook. It's just a little, but yeah, they're both really good movies. And just the fact that I don't know, the way he's a fan is kind of cracks me up. It makes me think of Philadelphia once in a while at the beginning. That's kind of that pure image for it. All right. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Oh, I got Backstreet Boys on there.
All right. So he's
Easy.
good. Easy money for you. All right.
The
easy
Millennium
money.
CD is a
How about that? If I threw 98
15
degrees in
CD
there?
of this century.
98 degrees, you get them in there too.
Yeah.
Casey, where do you go? I want you back. Is that where you go?
Backstreet's back. All right.
Yeah, probably after that. Oh, Tyler's convinced me. And I'll go with Backstreet Boys.
What was that song with the strings on it? I always hated that one with the
Bye, Bye,
video.
Bye.
Yeah, that video wasn't that.
That's
video,
in sync, though.
yeah, that video always creeped me out a
Ask
little
Tyler another question. He's on fire.
Yeah, I know my Backstreet Boys didn't sing.
bit. You give me 4 more. All right,
Right.
Candy Shop.
Whoa,
Or-
Brian's got to decide.
These are 2005 songs.
Brian.
Or Brian,
Back.
Backstreet Boys are.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys are in sync. Where you going?
I'm gonna go NSYNC.
Oh, you love that JT Fro.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, a little JT Pro right there. It's funny that era
He
with the
ripped
boy band.
Janet Jackson's top off.
I know. I was actually at the barbershop trying to talk. This guy was talking to me about halftime shows. He forgot about that one. He was too young to remember. All right, so I go Backstreet Boys. 2005 songs, not a group. But these are the most popular songs in 2005, or two of the most popular. Candy Shop with 50 Cent. I think everybody remembers that one. Or Gold Digger with a young Kanye and Mr. JB Fox with that. Which one would you pick?
I would say Gold Digger because I've learned over the years.
You've matured into what that means.
I've
Go to
read it a few.
What would you go with? Do you go Gold Digger? Brian, you go with little 50? Or you go Gold?
I'm gonna go Gold Digger on this one.
All right, everybody. Is it because we're all 35 and older now? Tyler, what do you got?
I'm going. I mean, it's got to be Gold Digger, but I hate choosing Kanye West in this climate.
How about JB Fox? You can put it out.
I never loved Kanye.
What do you mean you had all his CDs every
I
time?
had his first 2.
Well, that's all of them in my book.
Yeah, that is.
Everybody always says just listen to the old Kanye if you enjoy it. So that was your guys' senior year, 2005. Those were right up there.
What about you?
I Gold Digger for me. I remember always kind of it was good, but it always kind of. I always liked JB Fox's part better than actually the song. So that part always for me. I would go 50 Cent and good old Candy Shop. We're gonna go with that one there. I go 2002 songs. Another 50 Cent. He was popular in 2002. These were right there with it. And the number 1 song for 2022 here. So we got It's Getting Hot in Here. We got that one, number 1 on the list. Or
That's known.
yeah, I know. And then
Oh, you
the
said
one he's
50
competing
Cent.
against 50 Cent in the club. Which one do you go with? So those were 2 of their.
I want to hear Darren say those songs again.
That's why I'm trying to say as white as possible, just to make it fun.
You just beat yourself.
In the club.
Oh yeah, exactly. That was like that skit where I saw something the other day where like there was like a blind black guy and he was like in glasses. There was like 2 officers that were black, one of them a lady, and the other guy a black guy. And he goes, whatever the blind guy goes, "Are you a brother?" And the guy goes, "Yes, I am." And then the lady kind of gives him that look like that. He goes, "Let me hear you say sweet potato." And he said that was like one of the funniest things there. He said sweet potato. He goes, "Nope." And then he goes to the lady. She goes, "Let me hear you say it." And she says it. And then he looks back and he goes, "Why are you with this white cop over here?" That's pretty good. Let me hear you say sweet potato. So that's the thing. Just make a white guy say in the club. That's what Casey, what song do you go with there?
Man, I'll go In the Club.
So you say it the same way.
I know.
Tyler, what would you go with?
I'm going In the club. Hot in Her which is an insane title now that like we're talking about it and weird.
The video's even more insane.
Oh my god. Yeah. There's there's some dirty details. Yeah, I don't even like that song. The video is better than the song, especially an 18-year-old Tyler watching it.
Yeah.
But in the club,
This would have been a 15-year-old Tyler. This would have been
yeah, that makes even more. That makes even more sense.
this would have been a 15-year-old Tyler.
Hot and
Mom's
bothered.
banging on the door. Tyler, unlock the damn door.
The
Wait
club.
for the song, Dan.
That's funny. Brian, do you pick 50 Cent on this one?
No, I'm gonna go. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, there we go.
Brian, take off
That
Dude, that would have been a 21-year-old Brian.
would have been a 20. That would have been great.
That was a year out of high school for me.
Yeah, so you would have been like 19. Yeah, because I graduated in 02. All right, back to a movie here, and we'll get out. We'll move on to winners and losers. Social Network. That's the one about Facebook, or one I don't know. You guys might not have seen this. It's been on Netflix for a while, but it's called The Founder, the McDonald's movie where the guy. Gosh, who's
You
that?
love that movie.
I don't. I liked it
Is
the
it
first
Tom
time.
Hanks?
No, it's not Tom Hanks.
Mark Wahl?
He played Batman in a movie too.
It's
Uh,
Michael Keaton, right?
Michael
Oh,
Keaton.
yeah,
Yep. Which one would you prefer? I go Social Network.
I agree.
Yeah,
Same
Social
here.
Network.
Yeah, I'm going Social Network too.
I could go for a McDonald's breakfast right now.
Brian chooses Justin
Hey, there you
Timberlake
go.
again.
We all agree with it. All right, I'll save this one for next week. I got one with it. All right, it's winners and losers time. Casey, where do you want to go with this one?
Come on, you're not gonna go with my new segment.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot, Brian.
The Big Country Road.
Brian, that's why I had told you to remind
No,
you.
happy trails and screw the Raiders.
Why are we? Well, hold on. Let's set it up better. The first of the segment is Happy Trails. Why is it screw a team that stinks? You tell me why right now. You tell me what happened? Why do you say it? What's Happy Trails, Brian?
It's because Casey always with the cheap shots.
That is true. He does like to throw it out. All right, what's your segment though? You said you wanted to say goodbye to something.
Happy trails. I want to say goodbye to Devondre Campbell. Go live somewhere because you're not allowed in the NFL anymore.
Is he going to be coming up on the USFL now? Is he going to be USFL? I guess if we're going to do Happy
I
Trails, we
think
should.
just ban him from football.
Hey,
Period.
he's rich. He doesn't care.
Yes, he is. How about Happy Trails to Pop? It sounds like he's out for the rest of the season.
And
The
Wemby.
spring- and Wemby, they're both out for the rest of the season. So, Brian, on that note of Happy Trails, you got two other guys that are gone for the season on the NBA circle. So we got Campbell, we got Campbell Soup, we got Wemby,
Your Campbell suit.
and Pop is gone as well. We could throw. Should we just throw Embiid in there too? Should we throw everybody in the NBA into that circle? So that's a good one, Brian. Happy trails there. We'll probably bring that back next week as well if we can find something with it. Case, what do you got for winners and losers?
Winner, I'm gonna go chunky, but Gracie Poo Poo's my niece. She turned 6. Was it on the 19th? So yeah, it was fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go to the pizza party, but I did get to go with them to the Himalayan restaurant and have a feeling. I don't know. I don't think this was Grace's pick, but I'm gonna.
Hana, when she said that was a controversy around the house. I said, she's all, do you want to go to that place? And she's like, yeah. Then I was like, do you want to go to this place? She's like, yeah. It's like, I was like, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. Grace would have wanted to go to McDonald's. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it was cool. Shout out to Gracie Poo, 6 years old, going fast, man.
I guess I'll do that for my winner of the week too. I had Grace. I went to a father-daughter dance with her Friday. You talk about Hana's like, she wanted to dance with you. I go, no, she just wanted to jump on the stage with her friends a little bit. There's like, I didn't really care, but that's all she wanted. That's all she wanted to do, and eat cookies and hang out with her friends. That's all she was up for. So, yeah, Grace turning 6, got a lot of good stuff. Too much stuff, but we got a lot of good stuff for her. So yeah, winner of the week there with it for her too. I had the USA Canada thing, but we also talked about that a little much already. So Brian, what do you got for winner of the week?
I got the Lakers. They're sitting at 4 and they're on their way up. I think they're going to be in the top 2 by the time where they're finished.
Top 2 for Brian's the Lakers. I want to see you screaming around that house if they make it that top 2 there with it. I got to get you a Luka jersey. Tyler, what do you have for winner of the week?
Brian stole my thunder a little bit, but I'll specify. I'll go JJ Redick. I just think he has what you need to be a great head coach. He can be an asshole when he needs to be. He's obviously very knowledgeable. Very impressed with the way JJ Redick has led this like LeBron-driven team into like being more of a team thing. And I think he has the world at his hands as far as a coach goes.
All right. Loser of the week, Tyler. Where do you want to go with this one?
Oh, this is easy. Let's go to the end of the Arizona BYU basketball game. Arizona's up. Before this, don't play this yet. Don't play yet. Arizona gets an and one, but then the ref, he's pointing.
I saw that.
And one, and then he goes, no, on the floor. And so they make both the free throws. They go up one. And then this is the last possession of the game. 7 seconds left.
And the Arizona's up one. Yeah,
Arizona's up one, and this guy just throws up the worst shot.
They call a foul on a
Big
flop.
foul
basically.
on Trey. Look at that.
He kind of put his hip out a little bit.
Bullshit. He didn't put his hip out. The guy got into him and just threw up some got bailed out. Same ref. This ref's been reprimanded for sucking for like a couple years now, and he's still around, and just a terrible call. And McHale Center.
I wonder if they reviewed that in the NBA. Would they call that a foul? I wonder if they would call that a foul. The little left hip check right there at the end.
Left hip check.
Well, then maybe Casey. Maybe I had more of an argument. I had more of an argument against Casey in the backyard than I thought. I like.
That's a terrible.
Yeah, but there was
The
no
Big 12
forearm shiver
officiating
to
is
the back
my
of the
loser.
head either.
Do you want the Pac-12 officials back, Tyler? Is that what you're saying? You want the Pac-12? Case, let it go. That's not. I would agree. That's not a foul at the end of the game.
No, that's not.
Especially when the guy just throwing it up in the air. It's not even a real shot. That's a total bailout. What do you got for loser of the week, Case?
I hinted on one of them earlier. It was the Illinois hanging up the Shannon jersey upside down. Just pathetic. You cannot do that for a Hall of Famer. Put him up in the rafters. It's just not a good look. Loser also would be Tiger Woods. They said it was 199 yards, and he hit a club that only went 99. And so it was well short. And as the computer
He's a putter.
Or whatever, everyone's clowning and laughing, have a good time, and he's like, "You said 199," and he's like, "I did not say." He's like, "No, I did." And he's like, "You said 99." I was like, "Well, he's about 100 yards short, so that's kind of
Laid it up, played it safe.
Yeah.
Laid up. We don't want to do. Played it safe over there with it. That's funny. Yeah, I saw you apologize. Is that for that one thing that got loser of the week last week from you? The golf thing. Right?
Yeah.
That got loser of the week from you. All right. So, what do you got, Tyler or Brian?
I got the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. It's like it doesn't seem like anyone wants to be their GM right now. It's just they're a disaster, and they just never win. If they win, it's like maybe for a year, and then they're back to being terrible.
That's a good one.
Can I piggyback about that real quick?
Yeah,
That
go ahead.
owner has to be a terrible owner because he took over Man United, and they have been god awful since he took over, and they were like a world-renowned soccer team. And then he buys the Jags, and they can't hire a GM. It's a mess. You're right, Brian. The big loser.
It's weird how some people it just follows them like that. It just follows them like that with that stuff.
Well, when you don't put the resources in to get the job done,
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Hey, can I test your guys' your NFL knowledge here real quick? Niners draft real quick here at that. Brian, who do you remember? Who, just out of curiosity, because you would have been a senior this year. Who was their first round pick in 2002? Or do you remember who that was? Or you would have been a freshman in college that year. Do you remember? If you could just randomly think about it, I'll give you a clue. It was a defensive back. He was
back.
I think
Ahmed Plummer.
Out of Miami, Florida.
Mike Rumpf.
Mike yes,
Rumpf.
the Rumpf. Casey, I saw this last week. I thought it was funny. It was like me. I think the headline was me as Matt McClung when I was younger. And this video just kind of cracks me up with this. Yeah, that's why. This guy's that's like I feel like I was like me and Tyler and you and this Nerf food playing back in the day. Look at this kid going
That's
off.
real impressive. Though.
It is. Oh, this is my favorite one. Oh.
That's offensive goaltending.
I thought that was almost goaltending. That
That's
one
pretty
always great. He's all out there dunking, and that was like every kid. Remember, what was the triple arcade? Oh, what a down on the triple arcade.
Remember the soccer games when you had to be on your knees play goalie?
See, that was that was always good. That was my favorite one.
Whoever invented that for the doors, man, you know how many times like certain parents were cool with the others, like you're gonna break the damn door.
Yeah,
Like,
too
just going for someone to post.
I thought we were at times. I thought we were.
You
at
just
times.
slam them against the door while you're dunking on them. It just sounds like the whole house is coming down.
I know that was always. I know mom would, because especially us living on the second floor, you would hear it like I'd probably rattle downstairs pretty easily, especially when like running each other into doors and stuff. All right, so yeah, good show this week here on Fatboy FadeAway Sports. Appreciate anybody that tuned in. Tyler, have a good baseball practice today, Brian, as well. What are you up to today, Brian? Watching a little is it Combine NFL Network? Are we getting ready? Are they getting the equipment on now? That's got to be. Oh, that's right. I wanted to get this joke out here before I call it. This is what I saw this week, and I just thought this was funny.
Fact of life, women always have more questions than men have answers to. Great example of this. 6-7 months ago, I get a text one day. The text says, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. I walk into the kitchen where my wife is. I said, hey, I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, was he driving? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were the people in the other car hurt? I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. What hospital did they take him to? I don't know. I just got a text that please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, well, you don't know anything. What do you know? I know you need to pray for Tom. I just got a text that he was in a bad
wreck. I don't know. That was good. I like that. I thought you guys would enjoy that as we end the show here this week. Casey, get that knee right. Hopefully you'll be able to see the doctor this week, see what they got to do with you to get you back on your feet with it. I'll be at science camp, boys, this week with Derek up in Santa Cruz area there. So I'll be over there. Limited phone access, it says. So if you don't hear from me, I'm not dead. I'm
How long are you there for?
Monday through Friday.
Dang, long week.
So we'll be there at that. Eating camp food with sixth graders.
Are you taking the bus or do you take private cars?
No, I'm gonna take my own car. But they got like cabins set up. So I'm with the boys in the class there. I'm the chaperone for that, so I gotta be on my game this week. We'll bring a little.
Bring the Maulers and the. Did you bring the Maulers and the crackers?
We'll do
assless chap.
We'll play. Oh no, we can't do that. We'll do quarters against the wall. Play all that. We'll do some gambling, little dice rolling. We'll get all that.
Play heads up.
Heads up, 7-Up. Yeah, we got that with it. So, all right, guys, have a good week this week. Appreciate it, Tyler. Say hi to Rod for us. Say hi to Rod. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next week.